Oh, legends. Short and sharp, as we always do here. And thank you to the people that commented yesterday saying I was seemed a little bit sad. It has been a little bit of a frustrating couple of weeks by my care level. Let's compare it to the first 3 weeks of a season. Care level is very, very, very high. And right now it's just moderate. But it is always frustrating when your players do struggle. But yesterday I only had two out of 3 games, so it wasn't too much to stress about in that one. And in this game here, a 44-40 win. Sadly, I didn't tip the Eels in this one, so I'm still 2 down in my tipping comp. And just a quick thought, finals footy. I'll be doing finals fantasy as well, so make sure you stick around for the finals there on the channel. Going to be doing another 4 weeks of content, which is going to be good fun. And yeah, there'll be a couple of little prizes there for the winners as well. The top 5 it's going to be. So very, very, very cool. We'll get to that very, very soon. But some massive scores in this one. Tyrell Sloan with a 96, Sivo with an 89. Two extremely relevant fantasy players, obviously. Dylan Brown there with a 77. Welcome back to him. And then he gets the Tigers next week. So a good couple of weeks for Deal Bags. And a try and 3 try assists for him in this one was great. 22 tackles, 176 run meters, and a forced dropout for Dylan there. And then Mulheisen with a 72. Massive on his front. With 63 tackles and a try. So doesn't get too much better than that. He had no errors, no penalties in this one. Just the 2 missed tackles and the 2 inside 10. So an incredible effort for him. And he does seem to score really well when he gets an opportunity in the starting side. So good on him, Mulheisen, with obviously, unfortunately, Jacob Little being out in this one here. And we did see Pete, was in first, still might end up in first, but he captained Little and had DC as vice, thankfully. But yeah, it's another late out, and congrats to him and his partner for having a child. So it was very, very late in the piece that he got scratched in this one. Obviously the hour before, and it wasn't expected, obviously, there as well. Well, they probably did, but we didn't know about it. So that was that. That's why Mulheisen come in and played the 80 there. Lomax ended up with a 63. It was a fairly slow start for him. I think 5 or 6 in 30 minutes there, and then he ended up doing really, really well with that 63 there. 6 goals, a couple of line breaks, and a try there to finish off this game. With a bit of a flurry there, they scored 5 tries in 10 minutes, which is absolutely wild. So massive scenes, massive score from Lomax as well. Along with Sewer, along with DeBellin, 61 and 60 for each of those two. Gutho and Lane, 57 apiece. So some little, fantasy relevance for a few of these guys there. And then Lane's 57 was a good one as well, with Moretti coming in clutch. For anyone who did pick him up as a cheapie a while back with a 56 in 43 minutes. Very, very impressive with no negatives. Campbell Gillard, a good one, 53. Hunt with 47 was solid enough. Couchman of the Toby variety, good one there, 44. For him there, Eisenhuth, 43, all solid enough scores. And I guess to some of the lower ones now, but Blaze, a 40, you'd take that for sure. And as I said, for the Eels coming up against the Tigers next week, so he should be able to score fairly well again. Penasini, 34, Hands, 33. Not exactly what you want out of an 80-minute effort from Hands, but it was also a tremendously high-scoring game, so it's very hard to go nuts in the base stats there, but he did miss 5 tackles, had a penalty, and an inside 10 as well. Dejan Arce, you end up with 32, so not super exciting for someone you brought in that mid-range, and then Bird at 29 for him. He's going to be so cheap next year, and I wonder where he suits up. Joey Lussick in there with a 16, but Bryce Cartwright at 19 in the 80 minutes for him. So just 21 tackles, 67 run meters, no offloads, no tackle breaks. Really wild for him there. And then you have Fainai with a neg 1 in 48 minutes. Tough outing for him there in that one before hitting the showers early. So that was the first game. Not a heap of relevance, obviously, but talk about relevance in this one. Herbie Farnworth, 110. Holy moly. And then Payne Haas, 91 in 75 minutes. So those two were spectacular in this one. And you can have zero fault for Payne Haas. He went 42 tackles, no misses, 6 tackle breaks, 5 offloads, 2 turnover tackles, 117 meters gain, and then just had that 1 penalty, unfortunately, there. But he was incredible in his return game at 770k. If you had the early thought to grab him, I actually could have, looking back at it now, I think I could have just grabbed Haas from Hughes and didn't do it. So yeah, we weren't sure obviously at that time if he was going to be playing, so it would have been a bit of a punt. But I suppose if he was in the reserves, you probably expect him to play there. But yeah, there you go. Well done to any owners of him. And next week, I think will be a big chance to grab him as well. With them out, though, of contention is probably the big worry for the Broncos and any of their players like Carrigan and Haas. But Farnworth with a 110 obviously kept the Dolphins' chances alive. 2 tries, 2 tries for him. 7 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 287 meters to go along with his 3 line breaks as well. And 16 tackles, no misses. So an incredible game for him. Just a 1 error in passing there. So awesome from Farnworth. And he's had an incredible season now. That 110 takes him up to a 55 average. And yeah, has been even better at the Dolphins than he has been at the Broncos from a fantasy perspective with 3 actually now. Incredible games, 90s and now the 110. So massive score, one of the biggest of the year. Apart from that Hines 125 earlier on. Gee, I'm glad I got that Hines captaincy. Tabuai Fido, 71 for him. Avrilo, 64. So 2 massive scores from those guys with assists and tries to boot. So good stuff for any Hammer owners that he finally came in clutch for you after a tough month. Carrigan, 61 for him. Picked up a try, a very rare try for Paddy, but 6 missed tackles. He's done that a couple of weeks in a row, and that's just dropped his score that little bit, unfortunately. But an offload, 2 tackle breaks as well. And we knew what would be the case. Obviously, in this game, the Dolphins were dominant, so hard to get good run meters from you guys. But Carrigan and also Haas fairly low on that front. So you can't even say that Haas took run meters off him just because they were both fairly low in that. Jensen, 59, a really good score for him in 62 minutes there. All 3 of those guys playing massive minutes there. 50 tackles for him. Trey Fuller, I've missed you. 51 for him, 12 tackle breaks, 200 run meters, and a line break. So didn't even get involved in too many attacking stats and still picked up over a 50. Very happy with Plath in the end, 46 at obviously his price point. You want a little bit higher, but better than the 23 that Colin Matongi and 34 that Cotter threw up there. But yeah, they do make me throw up. That's right. Asako with a try, 2 line breaks, and 6 goals. So much better 40 from him, but still a rough season overall. It could be an interesting pick if they start the season pretty well next year. Pangai, 29, Cobbo, 28, Willison, 28. Played 48 minutes, so yeah, everyone was just playing massive minutes in this one for the forwards, for the Broncos, and unfortunately couldn't get the score that I was wanting, but I did not play him in the end anyway. It was good to see Jeremy Marshall-King back. Obviously, they're a much better team with him, basically. And then Reynolds, 27. I did see a few people pick him up, and it's a super frustrating one. Yes, the head knock, but just with the team getting smashed, it wasn't going to be his type of game. I just didn't expect this, just for them to get absolutely hammered in this one. You had Takura with 22 minutes, so that was, and then Moses, 35. You had Staggs, and he played 36, so moved things around as well. And Pete Caroni, 38 minutes as well. So their forwards on the bench really had to step up in this one and cover some positions and move around, obviously, and do some good stuff. So, yeah, it worked well for all those guys up top. And that's where the minutes ended up going. And then Tristan Sale, obviously, an 18 for him, not ideal. And then Isaiah Katoa, 5 in 8 minutes. So only got the 8 minutes in that one, which was, tough after being one of their most important parts of this side. And tough for him to see the team absolutely come out and dominate with him, unfortunately, not at the helm, given how well he's played across the season until this last, obviously, month or so. And he was the scapegoat this week, unfortunately. All right, the main event of the evening, I managed to go and see this one, and shout out to Liam, who came and said hello, who's mates with Bev, who's currently sitting in second overall, but has a few good scores in there and a few real tough ones as well, obviously being in the same boat with me, with a couple of those Rabbitohs guys. But SJ, the fairy tale finish, it was exactly that. He had 3 try assists in the end, a couple of line breaks himself, 176 run meters and 503 kick meters. So some of his best efforts that we came to see of him last year, a combination of basically, his best footy in this game with no errors, no penalties, just a couple of misses in this one. And just to see that first try assist, they were getting hammered after, early into that second half there. And I got to see from behind the SJ, spot that gap and go through and get it back to Metcalf, who's a local junior as well. So, cool to see that one there. And then obviously that game winner was in the corner that we were standing there, which was really cool. So, congrats to SJ on an incredible career. You will be sorely missed. And if anyone did jump on him for the head-to-head final or just to see him off, it was an incredible performance there as well. So, crazy the up and down nature of this one. Warriors had all the ball early, got the 1 try. Sharks went on that big run. You're like, oh, this could be bad, could be 30 plus, could be whatever. And then they had those 2 disallowed tries. And then from there, the Warriors took over and made a massive comeback and got that win on the buzzer. So very, very impressive win. Adam Fanua-Blake, another 60. He's been incredible, hasn't he? And if you had bought sort of a month ago now, when he got fairly cheap after a tough stretch of a few games, looked like he was carrying something, because since then he's been big minutes and been really, really impressive. So a great year for Adam, a 58 average after, basically ending up at the same spot that he started the year at. So very, very impressive from Adam Fanua-Blake. Cam McInnes, a 60 for him in 56. A lot through the middle here. 49 tackles was great. Chance in centre. Worked out really, really well. Picked up a try and 2 line breaks for 59. We'll see if that's something to continue with across the years, but I'm not sure how that one's going to play out. You had Teague Wilton with a lovely try in that one there as well, a 55 for him. Taken to a picky, good work there at the back. It was a fairly high-scoring match with 8 or 9 guys above 50 there. You had Brayley, 51, had a really good game, I thought. Ran the footy at opportune times. And then Luke Metcalf with a 51 with a try and the try assist as well. Good tackle numbers, good running of the footy as well. So, yeah, nice game for Luke, especially to play the team that he grew up playing for. Stone Street, he's becoming a bit of a fan favourite there. We're all getting around him there. He's he's going to be a good young player for him and looked really good on the wing there. He's averaging 40 for the year, so his price next year is going to be cactus in fantasy, that's for sure, with 1 game to go. Not too much of a discount going into next year, that's for sure. But Lea Ta'ua with 49 in the 80 minutes there, 10 tackle breaks, 10 tackles, no misses, big run meters, a line break there. Cracking effort from him. Nikora missed a bunch of tackles early, got close to scoring a try at one point, did get an error for it, unfortunately, but 36 tackles, just a tiny bit lower, and the run meters just a tiny bit lower as well, but getting offloads, getting turnovers, doing some good stuff there on that front. We still haven't got to Hines yet, which is a bit frustrating for anyone who did buy into him, and maybe captains as well. I think there might have been a few. And we got Keeney out as well, so Little, Keeney, Hines, a lot of those guys didn't play or didn't perform, unfortunately. With Capewell, Trindle, good mid-40 scores for any owners of Trindle there. Still with Hines, he was the dominant kicker and kick goals as well. Nikure, 42, Rudolph, 41, and Walker, 40 for any owners of Dylan there. Kale Iro with the sin bin, unfortunately, but got picked up a try early. And, obviously 10 minutes short and the -7 for that play. So he would have been 45, potentially up to 50 with that extra 10 minutes. So he's just been a great stalwart for our sides, and he's the lowest score in a while now. But, obviously the sin bin hurt him on that one. But Nico Hines, 33 with a try assist, did go over for a try that got pulled back. So he would have been a 50+ in this one, and just not kicking goals and not kicking much in general play. So, probably wasn't the play, unfortunately. In hindsight, of course, not knowing if he'd be kicking goals and the like, but they did have Atkinson out there as well, who's a goal kicker too. But Wade Egan, 27 for him. And just shout-outs to Tavanga and Adam Fanua-Blake, who are done with the Warriors as well. Same with SJ, but just not retiring from football. Oregon Kafusi had a really good first stint, and then kind of just nothing really happened for him after a couple of good runs there that he's been having over the last bunch of weeks. Wade Egan, 27 in 54, so a bit of a slow, tough one from him. Jack Williams, I thought he went over for the try. It was actually Teague. Some similarities there in their build from what I've seen. Mitch Barnett, he's just having I don't know what the hell's happened to Mitchie, unfortunately. 25 for him in 37, so better PPM, but absolutely fallen off a cliff in the last 3 weeks after being basically the best scorer in the game. So him and Colin Matangi must be chatting to each other, trying to see who can get the lowest score each week at the moment, because it's been rough times. And Atkinson, 9 in 80 minutes. And a big shout out to all the fathers out there. Father's Day today. I hope you are, if you are a father yourself, hoping you're spending it well. And if you've got your dads out there, give them some love and tell them how bad your fantasy team is. And we'll see you all in the finals fantasy, which will, as I said, just stick around for that. We've got 1 more week, and then we'll get into that finals fantasy for a little bit of a newness to our seasons after 27 rounds and all of preseason, thinking about our singular teams to get into a little bit of a fresh format, which will be good fun. So thanks for being here, guys, and we'll catch you in that next video tonight. Actually, we should get some out.